of my 28-day British accent challenge. Today we're looking at linking words, and as I keep saying during the 28-day challenge, fast speech is very much a part of British speech. First of all, I'm going to start by showing you some examples of consonants that link into vowels. We often link a T into a vowel. For instance, that is interesting, especially when we want to emphasize the word is. That is interesting. We can also use the glottal stop there, and we'll talk about that another time. And that means that we tighten the glottis and we completely avoid the T and we say, that is interesting, that is interesting. But it doesn't always flow as nicely. I think that means you need to be speaking more quickly, and glottal stops are more for very quick speech. When I want to emphasize is, I'm more likely to pronounce the T. That is interesting. What an idea. T and what an idea. Wash it. Shh, shh. Wash it. Rub it in. Dry it. Bake it. All these consonants at the end of words facilitate this link into the vowel. If I didn't do this, there'd be a pause. Bake it. And it would just sound a bit robotic. It doesn't sound at all natural. So it's very important. It's a part of natural everyday speech. Now let's move on to the vowels. So when my lips come forwards, ooh, oh, the link is a kind of invisible one, and it's going to be a w, as in what, when, why. Okay? For instance, go away. Go away. There's actually an extra w there. Go away. Get to it. W. Get to it. And if I'm not careful, it could sound get to it. Get to it. So I have to be very careful that I don't overly emphasize the w. Get to it. And it's more of a very subtle link there. So it's not really a complete consonant, but it's a very subtle way of linking. Get to it. The other option is that I can link with a e, as in the letter Y. For instance, I often go. I often go out. There I'm linking with the Y. I, because the tongue comes up here, and I is quite similar to a y. I often go out. But as you can see, the Y is very, very subtle. It's very important that I focus predominantly on the vowel, and that concept of a slight consonant is just in order to help you. Okay, so what I would advise is that you go through this first part of the lesson and you practice this a little bit. Obviously, each day you should be starting with the warm-up in day one, but if you haven't had a chance to warm up yet, for this one I would suggest that you stifle a smile and hum. We could also do some exaggerated chewing and humming. Or lower our bottom jaw and hum. My main motivation here is to help you to really open the cavities in the throat and the back of the mouth. Because, like I said, you really must make sure that you focus predominantly on the vowels, particularly if you're linking two vowels. We don't want to sound like there's actually a real consonant there, because it could totally change the words. It's just to help you have a better understanding. When you're ready, when you've done enough of a warm-up, when you've perhaps looked over the examples I've already given you a couple of times, we'll do some sentences. I didn't get to it in time. To it in. I didn't get to it in time. To it in time. I didn't get to it in time. So as you can see, the middle of this sentence get to it is all linked. Oh, I don't know. So here we've got a link of O-Y. We're linking O and I. Oh, I don't know. We're focusing, as I said, predominantly on that resonance of the vowels in those cavities at the back of the mouth. Very, very important. Otherwise we get, oh, I don't know why. And we get two Y's. We don't want that. So it's not really a W, but it's just to help you hear the link. And that's how we're linking. I often go out on Mondays. I often go out. I often go out on Mondays. Go out on. So I've got three links there. I often go out. Out on. I often go out on Mondays. Are you interested? It's a very, very slight movement of the lips that is similar to a W. Are you interested? But just as with a W, we have to make sure that we forget about it and focus on the vowels. Otherwise, everything's going to come forwards here, and I don't want to make your speech worse. So make sure you focus predominantly on the vowels, and that movement is just very subtle. Are you interested? So my focus is very much on these cavities at the back here, and this movement of the lips is very subtle. Are you interested? And simultaneously, because I've got you, I'm really activating these muscles in the lower jaw, and I can feel my cheeks are against my teeth. Are you interested? You will start to notice this. One thing that you can do that's very useful as homework is to purchase an audiobook and the accompanying physical book, and then to listen and read simultaneously. And once you're aware of something, you'll start to hear it. So you'll start to hear this concept of linking. Just be careful that the audio book you get isn't abridged, because sometimes they do that to make the book shorter, because obviously an audio book takes hours to narrate. Books that my clients are reading at the moment are actually quite a lot of classics, things like Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice for the women, which are narrated by an actress called Rosamund Pike, who has a really nice voice. Just check that narrator has a nice voice, has the kind of voice that you'd like to emulate, and has a voice that is in keeping with your age. And that's going to be easier for you in terms of resonance as well. If you're really eager to look ahead at all 45 sounds in the International Phonetic Index, then please do scroll down to the comments box, or you will find a link to my site, and you will get a 7-day free trial of my membership site, which includes over 60 videos, and I'll also invite you to one of our group coaching calls, which are twice a month. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.